All right, let's dive into chapter 92 of Bibliomancers. Have you ever been to one of those dinner parties that just feels doomed from the start? Well, that's exactly where our protagonist, Jock, finds herself. She's got this massive, high-stakes mission, but everything, and I mean everything, hinges on her surviving this one single, incredibly chaotic dinner. We're going to break down how it all goes so spectacularly wrong, and then, somehow, so right. So what's the big problem? Well, it all starts here. Jock absolutely needs her ally, Draco the Dragon. He's got the power she needs for a super critical mission. Simple enough, right? Wrong. Draco has one condition, and it is a doozy. He refuses to go unless he can bring his chimpanzee friend Groucho. And why? For the mission? For backup? Nope. He says it's to, and I'm quoting directly here, make the whole journey hilarious. Okay, so let's get into section 1, a dragon's demand. Yeah, the deal is basically no chimp, no dragon. It is as simple and as infuriating as that. Jock's mission, this incredibly dangerous trip into the tower, is completely dead in the water without Draco's power. So what does that mean? It means she's stuck babysitting Groucho, who is basically a walking, talking social hand grenade. A problem she would much, much rather leave behind. Now, to be fair, Jock knows she doesn't have the best filter herself, you know? She blurts things out, but compared to Groucho, she might as well be a seasoned diplomat. And the text gives us this absolutely perfect analogy to show the difference. Jock's filter is like, oops, I probably shouldn't have said that. Groucho's filter is like a drunken heckler at a strip club being told he can't touch the dancers. We're talking two completely different universes of impulse control here. All right, which brings us to Jock's proposed solution. Section 2, the dinner party test. So Jack comes up with a plan. She's basically trying to play a game of high-stakes social chess. Look at this setup. She seats Groucho right between herself and the very polite, very quiet Aya, hoping she'll be a calming influence. Step 2, she puts Frida, the woman Groucho is currently obsessed with, as far away as physically possible. And step 3, she places the super charming Harry right next to her own formidable grandmother, basically using him as a human heat shield. Every single seat at this table is a calculated, strategic move. And how does the test go? Well, it takes about, 2 seconds for the whole thing to blow up. Groucho immediately drops a racial slur, follows it up with a super crude comment about another guest's body, and then, just for fun, insults Jaguar directly. So, yeah, the plan is already in flames. So Jack immediately goes into damage control mode. She's trying to explain, the most basic, fundamental rules of how to talk to people at a dinner party. Things like, we don't comment on other guests' bodies. But honestly, she might as well be trying to explain astrophysics to a hamster. It's just not getting through. And his response? Oh, he just doubles down. He totally ignores what she just said and then immediately starts talking about Frida. Yep, the one person Jacques strategically hid from him. He's not just ignoring the plan, he's actively taking a sledgehammer to it. And this is the moment Jacques just snaps. You can feel her frustration boil over. Because this isn't just about a ruined dinner party anymore, right? Her entire mission is on the line, and she's watching it all unravel, word by horrible word. But here's what's so brilliant and terrible about this moment. Groucho isn't just being randomly offensive. No, he's being surgically precise. He's using his photographic memory to target Chibok's deepest insecurities about her girlfriend, Frida. This isn't just chaos, you guys. This is weaponized chaos. It shows he's not just a loudmouth chimp, he's a chaotic genius. And it leads to this perfect moment of internal despair from Jock. What has my life become? I had to lie to save face from a chimp. I mean, think about it. She is in a battle of wits with a chimpanzee about her girlfriend's body, and she is losing. That one line just perfectly sums up the absolute absurdity of her entire situation. So you'd think it's all over, right? Well, that brings us to section 3, an unlikely charm. So the dinner is finally over, but the horror isn't. In fact, Jack's worst nightmare is about to come true. Her grandmother, the powerful, terrifying matriarch of the family, summons Groucho. She wants to speak with him. This has to be it, right? The final nail in the coffin for her mission. And does Groucho use the polite, simple greeting that Janae begged him to use? Of course not. He walks right up to the most intimidating person in the room, looks her in the eye, and delivers a classic line from his namesake, Groucho Marx. And he's not done. He follows that one up with another iconic, witty insult. At this point, he's not just failing Jake's test anymore, he's actively poking the bear, antagonizing the one person who has the power to just completely ruin her life.
And then, the most unexpected thing happens. The whole plan fails so completely, so spectacularly, that it actually succeeds. Her grandmother isn't offended at all. Turns out she's a massive Groucho Marx fan. She gets the jokes, she loves the wit, and she is totally 100% charmed.
So, Jock survives one crisis, only to walk straight into another. Section 4. The secret is out. Jock gets back to her room, probably thinking she can finally breathe, and then she's confronted by Harry, the charming guy from dinner, and he just casually drops a bombshell. He reveals that he knows her single biggest, most dangerous secret. He knows about the dragon. Which leads to the million-dollar question. How? How did Harry see a completely invisible dragon? Draco's spell is supposed to be foolproof. That invisibility was their ace in the hole, their ultimate protection. This one little revelation completely changes the game. Even Draco himself has no idea. He comes up with a few theories, and they are fascinating. Maybe it's because Harry's lived in the tower for so long, or maybe he's somehow connected to the ancient magic that created the tower in the first place. Whatever the reason, it's clear that Harry's mysterious 500-year history is way more connected to their mission than anyone realized.
And with that secret out in the open, everything changes. Section 5. A new mission roster.
So the cat or the dragon is out of the bag, and the mission team just got a new member. And what's the first order of business? Well, Harry offers to mentor Groucho in the art of seduction. The book has this great comparison. Groucho's method is a hammer of sex and innuendo, while Harry's is a single feather of double entendre. Oh man, this is going to be fun to watch. And that's where we leave things. The mission team is now a 500-year-old mentor, a chimp with a photographic memory getting lessons in charm, and, an invisible dragon. That dinner party was a total disaster, but it was also a wild success that has completely changed the game. So the big question is, did they just stumble upon the key to conquering the tower, or have they just cooked up the perfect recipe for an even bigger, more spectacular disaster down the road?